Hello and welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Battle Report. This is Sir Alexander casting for the RPG.net tournament. So over here in the 6 o'clock position we see Endgame as the red Terran, and in the 12 o'clock position we see MoonShadow as the light green Protoss. These two players have battled it out in the first round, and MoonShadow won handily with mass Colossus. He had 6 Colossus. And so he says now, so I guess the same thing won't work twice, because it was a great move. He expanded early, he got the mineral advantage, massed up on Colossus, moved out, and totally destroyed Endgame in really a single push, or maybe a two-pronged push. So I'm going to speed this up right now, because in the beginning it's pretty slow. This is Game 2 of Round 4 for these players in the RPG.net tournament. If these players win this round, they will have a shot at the championship if they win the next round as well. I think it might require the right people to lose, though. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that they do have a good chance at being in the finals if they win this round. But right now, it all depends on who wins this round. MoonShadow is up. He's got one win over Endgame, so if he can win this one, he'll win it 2-0 and move on. Endgame was able to pick the map, though, because he lost the last game, and he did pick Lost Temple, which is a very good map for the Terrans, because you do have this high ground right here that you can put siege tanks on and pound away at this nexus. You can fly in here and drop off guys behind there. Of course, the Protoss can do that too. We do see a cybernetic score coming up pretty early. Doubtless Warp Gate is going to be researched immediately. No units out for the Protoss player. That might be a little bit of a mistake. We do see a Marine coming out. If he went straight for Reapers... No, he's going for the first Stalker, so Reapers would not be effective in this case. Chrono Boost on the economy there, keeping up with that probe. He's fully saturated this assimilator, and doubtless this one as well. Warp Gate is not on the way yet, so he must not be going for Warp Gates. He's going for a Twilight Council instead. So hopefully we'll see some High Templars. So far in this tournament, I don't think I've casted a single game with High Templars, and would love to see them. Endgame is doing a very normal thing for the Terran player and is walling off at this long expansion. He walled off here first just to play it safe in case there was some sort of cheese coming from MoonShadow. But now he's putting a bunker line across here, which is a good move. And you put missile turrets behind that, and it's pretty much impenetrable. Especially if you can put siege tanks on this high ground, you'll hold that against a massive number of units. Warp Gate is being researched, and right now we see all Stalkers being produced, so doubtless, there we go. Blink is on the way. More probes being pumped out. MoonShadow is in the lead in his economy by 26 over 21 workers. Right now it's 33 pop over 29, so he's a little bit in the lead, and when a when a Protoss player is in the lead, it really doesn't count as that much, because even their standard units cost 2 pop, that is. So both assimilators are fully saturated to Endgame's only 1. Yeah, factory is going up. Doubtless he'll be going for siege tanks. He is expanding. I guess a natural expansion, not a particularly early. He does have his orbital command up, though, so he'll be able to drop double the mules. We do see first observer is on the way. No missile turrets up yet, so that observer should be able to go for a long time unless he spots that faint shimmer. A proxy pylon going down here instead of at the Zone Like a Watchtower. Usually they go down at the Zone Like a Watchtower. What's really cool, though, is when you put them in a phase prism and put them right here. Well, actually, I guess that wouldn't do very good, because the Marines could just activate the Zone Like a Watchtower. Oh well, but it's still cool when you can do something like that, when you can get the proxy pylons on the high ground. So a lot of Stalkers here, not a single Zealot. Not sure that I forgot. He has the blink tech, so he's going to blink up here, move in, and do massive damage to his economy. And he's going to take down that reactor core so fast. All these Marines and Marauders are going to come back. But is that going to be quick enough? All these SCVs are off the line. He's going to do a lot of damage to that orbital command. Not enough, though. These Marines and Marauders are going to come in, and he's probably going to run away from that fight. He is blinking. He's doing blink action here. Units are blinking away. He really needs to run for it. He doesn't want to lose that many units this early on in the game, but no, he just decides to stay right there and fight it out. Not sure why. This orbital command will be repaired. He had the choice to just run back and blink off the cliff without losing a single unit. I think that's a little bit of a mismanagement not doing that. That orbital command will land, and he will go back to harvesting, but Endgame is down to 25 over MoonShadow's 34. But MoonShadow has nothing on the field right now. Endgame really needs to push, and it looks like he is moving out. He's got to get out there. He blinks away these stalkers. A good move. He presses right back in, though. Not sure if I agree with that. Endgame has to push out against his base right now. We see two pylons and one pylon and a gateway going up. No further tech. He should really go for high Templars. He does have this expansion up. No cannons. It's not being saturated. He's going to be falling behind very shortly in the mineral count. Though he's destroying some SEVs, but I don't know that he's got enough units right now to be sacrificing that many just to get SEVs. He really needs to get units on the map if he's going to stay in this game. Endgame has to push right now. He's got to push to make anything out of this. Again, like I said in my tips and tricks video, if you are behind and you're constantly being harassed and being attacked, really, if you're behind in the mineral count, you're behind in SCVs, the best thing that you can do is throw it all on the line and charge, because, you know, tunneling in or anything really won't work. He needs to push out right now. Look at this. He's got 3 stalkers on the map. If he pushes in right here, it'll be endgame right now. And looks like Endgame is pushing out. He's going to take this Zelnaga Watchtower. He needs to bring the rest of these units up. There they go. They're starting to move. Hopefully they'll move out and charge in, because he needs to wrap this up right here. He'll be able to take down that expansion, no problem. More units are being warped into play. And finally, we see a Templar Archives. He needs to research Psionic Storm, or Psystorm. He is saving up, but it's going to be far too late, as all of these Marines and Marauders are about to be pushing in. I think he sees them coming. I think he spotted that with an observer or something, because he decided not to go for Psionic Storm. He got a Archon, which will be very good against these units, I believe. Too bad it doesn't do splash damage. These pylons are going to be going down, but that's so many units. That's so many Marines and Marauders. More are pouring across the map along with Medivacs. This expansion is going to go down, and MoonShadow is going to lose this next map. Zealots being warped into play. He's got that Archon was stuck behind the line. Will be taken down very quickly by massed Marauders, which do an impressive 20 damage against armored units. This Nexus will go down, and there's really nothing he can do here. He's warping in a bunch of Stalkers to try and defend this choke point. He needs to put up some cannons or something. There's just not much that he can do to stay in this game. He needed that Templar Archives much, much earlier, and he needed to have got out high Templars with Psionic Storm, but it was far too late. He's sitting on 800 crystals. He really needs to put up cannons or something. There's just not much you can do here. A scan going down to give him sight on the high ground. All these units will be charging in. More Zealots being warped into play, but those are going to get taken out so fast. And those Stalkers were not attacking. What a mismanagement, and all those Stalkers will be taken down. He's blinking back, but doesn't do much as he just charges right in again. More Zealots being warped into play on the other side, but concussion shells going down, and those Zealots are not going to get many hits, as these guys will be healed up, backing up, buying time. He probably won't lose a single Marauder. And all those Zealots go down. This pylon will go down. He is probably now supply blocked. He is getting close to being supply blocked. Chrono Boost going down on the warp gates. But he doesn't have enough minerals to do anything anyways. I don't know what he's going to do here. This has got to be GG. He's trying to hang on, trying to buy time, trying to pull out with this, because he doesn't want to lose here. If he loses this, he'll have to go in a 1-1 match, an even straight-up match with the Terran player, which is not your ideal position. Ideally, you want to win, both games in the beginning. This Immortal comes out, but is in the very front line and gets taken down very quickly. Good micro going down, and MoonShadow says wow and GG. That was just such great play by Endgame, who is amassing units. He's got more units coming out here, though no spawn points. That's a little bit of a mistake. Endgame calls GG. More Stalkers warped in, but that's not going to be able to do anything. He really needed to. I'm not sure what he needed to have done. It was an excellent by Endgame to push out at that time. That really won him the game. And what MoonShadow really needed to have done was stop sacrificing units. It was too early on in the game. He didn't have any base defenses up, and he was just sacrificing so many units to get SCVs. And while taking down enemy SCVs is good, you can't just... He sacrificed 8 Stalkers here, or it might have just been 6, just to get down some SCVs, and they do a lot of damage to this orbital command, which was repaired, which is really worthless. He could have blinked them away and saved them, but instead he lost them all for really no gain. What a mistake, and MoonShadow did lose this best of 3. He lost the second game in the best of 3, so they are tied up now, each with 1 win, and will go into the final match to see who can attempt to pull out with the win for the tournament. MoonShadow will be picking the next map, so we'll see if that will give him enough advantage to tip this table over and win the 3rd game in this best of 3.